Good afternoon, welcome to the shed. So if you see my recent exploits in the market, the local flea market, you might have heard me mention that I bought a Draughtsman's lamp. So today we're going to try and clean this thing up. This is it. It's rather difficult to film because it's such a long gangly thing, but this is a 2-lamp fluorescent tube lamp from, I guess, the 50s. If you think Mad Men, oh, it's American by the way, I didn't say that, did I? It's from the USA. It clamps on. They're quite rare. I paid too much for it, but I still know I could get my money back if I need to. However, this one is for me. I wanted one of these for a while, and it is a really nice one. The colour, it's a bit industrial, isn't it? But I don't think it's worth painting it. I think I'll ruin it if I paint it. So the idea is to give it a good clean and then see if we can get it working. I did turn it on with a sort of a spare tube that I had lying around. One of these works but pops the bulb. One of them has got no power at all, so we're going to have to open it up and see what's going on in there. And I was using a 110 converter, so I was using the right voltage, but I suspect there's something wrong. Hopefully not with the switch, because it's got rather a nice switch on there. Don't think you can see that, but I'll do a still photo of that. This little 2-button switch on, off, is pretty cool. Hopefully that switch is still okay, but probably there's some problems with the wiring in here. So there's two, I've opened it up by the way, there are two ballasts in there, the old magnetic type, so I'm guessing they're gone. So later on I'll open it up and show you. Let's get it cleaned up. So I brought you in closer. You can see there's some marks here, hopefully you can see that. I think that's where somebody's got sellotape on there, because that is, I think, on the surface. Hope so. Same on the other side, so a bit of petrol will get that off. Apart from that, there's a little bit of rust. I think it's best left. Maybe possibly a bit of wire wool just to take the roughness off it. But these things are best left as industrial, you know, trendy, aren't they, like that? So we'll give that a clean. In here, this is just grubby, but apart from that, that should be easy enough to clean. And then on the back end, which I'll show you in a moment, there are two studs. Let's take one of them off. So there's two of these, which are the clamps. These studs go into the base, and then this little hook clamp to tighten it up. So that'll be an easy job. Paint the clamp, wire brush on the stud. Two of those. So I might do that. No, I won't do that first. I'll do the lamp itself first, and then we'll clean those and paint those in a moment. So this is the tape mark. Got a little bit of petrol here in a syringe. See if that'll take that off. First answer is no. Oh dear, fumes. Okay, some wire wool. Yep, that's coming off now. That's cool. It is dulling the paint a little bit, so don't want to go too crazy. So these marks here are rust, but there is some tape there. That interestingly takes off most of the rust, but not all of it. Okay, right, I'm going to try a bit of methylated spirits now, just to see if that's any better. Please don't tell me that meths and petrol when combined is a deadly combination. I'll get a different bit of rag anyway, just in case. Ooh, that's weird. It's kind of highlighted the rust, but also takes some of it off. And then there's a bit of tape there. Let's try that on tape. The other end. Okay, so meths is the way to go. Okay, so we're on to our friend soapy water, hot, warm soapy water. And so that's left a bit of residue, that meths. And now I'm just going to wash that off. Take that away. I found some 50-year-old coffee on here, which was nice. Came off quite easily with the meths though. I think this is probably 1950s, might be a bit later, 60s, early 70s, I don't know. So if any of you people watching have any experience of electronics for fluorescent tubes, I wouldn't mind you helping me out. I'm going to have to try and draw a circuit diagram, and maybe I'll post that down below if I can. So I'm talking to you, Brad and Phil, brother. You can help me with that if you like. I don't really want to spend too much money. I know I've got to buy a couple of ballasts. They're about a tenner each, which is fine, but I don't want to blow them up and have to do it again. If the switch is gone, then I probably will have to pull the insides out and redo the whole thing. Okay, right, so this thing here is a bit grubby, but I want to try and leave the label if I can. It's not plugged in at the moment, obviously, but it being American, it's got one of these plugs on the end. I bought a plug, but obviously that's not a converter, that's just an adapter. So I want to leave that intact, I don't want to rewire it. I'm trying to keep it original as possible. Okay, right, so I'm just going to let that dry, or dry it off, and then I've got a little trick that I'm going to try on the paintwork. See if we can brighten it up a bit. While that soapy water is drying off, I'm just going to clean up these studs and brackets and give them a little lick of paint. I've done one of the clamps, but obviously I've realised that I can't take the other one out because I've got it clamped to the bench. So right, we're going to do something else quickly first. So what I'm going to use is a bit of car polish. Mercedes paint seal cream. I had to sell the Mercedes when I started my YouTube channel. ploughed all the money into that. Right, okay, so I'm just going to use a bit of this just to polish it up, just on the hood and the main bit. Don't know if it'll work. Oh bloody hell, there's a wasp in here. Yeah. Middle of December and I've got a wasp. Excellent. Okay, right, let that dry a moment. Quite handy having a sink here, wash my hands as I go. Remember that. Okay, polish up time. Okay, I've got a bit of a shine on there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Obviously, it being industrial brown doesn't make, it's not exactly the best colour for shining up and polishing, but it does look a lot better. Where I put the petrol on, it's made a bit of a mess. That wasn't a good idea. Need to bring it back. Okay, right, I'll finish off that bracket, then we'll open her up and have a look inside. So I very quickly learned that I should have done the undersides first, shouldn't I? Never mind. Those will look nice. They'll dry quite quickly. This stuff's really good. Okay, studs are done. Brackets are done. Let's open her up and have a look. Just put these out of the way. Okay, let's open her up and have a look. I have had this open once already and had a little look. But I am going to have to do a circuit diagram because I'm scared. Okay. So what we've got in here, I don't know if you can see any of this or if you're even interested, is power coming in here, going to this blue wire which is going up the stem to the switch. The other power is split between these two ballasts, and then once it's been through the ballast, those then disappear. So these two white wires then disappear up the head to the bulbs and the switch. Now the problem I've got is that when I look at the I don't know if I can make that more clear. When I look at the circuit diagram for the ballasts that you can buy, the new electronic types, they have two wires going to each end of the to have to draw this, aren't I? Let me get a pencil, hold on. So this is the top end, that's the switch there. Power comes to one end of the switch. I'll get my multimeter out and try to test this, not online, but I will do that. And these other two power wires which come from the ballast, one goes to each lamp, across the lamp, and then back to the switch, and then presumably back out again to the other side of the lamp, and then back into the switch. I'm not exactly sure what that switch is doing, but I'm guessing it's splitting the power and switching both ends on at the same time. Not 100% sure, so I'll get my multimeter on there and see what I can do to make sure I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to have to draw a diagram, aren't I? That's the only answer. Okay, any advice gratefully received. Contact me below and we can talk. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to leave it there on this one because I'm going to have to order some parts and I need to be 100% sure I know what I'm doing before I put any power on that. But I promise I will do that power switch on in the next, I'll do a short video once I've rewired it, and I'll show you the switch on and what it looks like when it's going. So if I do blow it up, then I'll probably end up converting it to an LED thing, which means I'll probably lose the control, I'll lose the switch on the top, but at least I'll have a safe, usable lamp. Preferably we'll go down the original route, keep it original, but all is not lost if that doesn't work. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I know it's a bit of a different one today, but you know, it's the stuff I do in my shed, so it's different every day. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, especially if you're an electrician, and I'll see you on the next video.